hearts alight with giving glow, side by side through highs and lows. Together find a way to show love that only grows. Livin Betty's guiding star shines on missions near and far, helping hands like we were one till the day is done. Spread love's light through the night, mission 22 in sight, hearts burning bright. Wreaths across the winter snow, each a promise we bestow, honoring those who let us know freedom's seed we sow. In the shadows be the spark, light a fire in the dark. With one voice we'll make our mark, together we'll embark. Through the valleys we unite, every step a gleaming light. With the Johnsons guiding sight, we make the world right.
Next one, Calvin.
Riding high on the open road, JJDrones, they take the load. Winging it with friends in tow, life on the screen, you watch the show. Laughs and chatter in the air, nothing to hide, nowhere rare. Live stream fire, join the flare, adventures wild without a care. Tune in live, don't be late, JJDrones if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great, join the team, feel the faith. Tech and travel, flying high, questions answered, never dry. Drones and gadgets touch the sky, all the news, no alibi. Underneath the digital sun, friends and fun, they are the one. Learning's cool with a twist of fun. Hit subscribe, the ride's begun. Tune in live, don't be late, JJDrones if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great, join the team, feel the faith. She said media brings the answers, droning veteran shows disasters. GJ and Gary make us laugh, while the train wreck clears the path. Tune in live, don't be late, JJDrones if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great, join the team, feel the faith. Join the team, feel the faith.
I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with me, and we'll see you later on down the road.
I'm Karl Marx, and I approve this message.
It's JJDrones Live. Welcome to the train wreck. Go ahead and hit the music, Calvin. There we go. It's JJDrones Live. We're training somebody new today. And I'd like to thank Journey One with Grace for coming in tonight. We've got TJ Giggle FPV, and we got Droning Veteran. And we're gonna have a great show tonight. But first, if you'd like to have one of your videos featured on my website, email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. And for everything JJDrones related, go to JJDrones.GoDaddySites.com. And if you'd like to help support the program, go to JJDrones.GoDaddySites.com/Amazon1, and you'll be able to use my Amazon links and to support the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity. It's JJDrones.GoDaddySites.com/donate. Our Spreadshirt shop is open. It's JJDrones.MySpreadshop.com. And if you'd like to have your video featured on Blinker Fluid of the Week, email Dan at droningveteran@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I know the Super Bowl is going on tonight, so I know there's going to be a lot of people not in here tonight. But we are training a new guy tonight, and he's going to be with us for a couple of weeks, so we're going to bring him up here in a minute. But before we do that, let's bring on our regular co-host for the evening. You know him, love him. He is the cheesiest of cheeseheads. His name's Brian from Cheesehead Media.
Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Brian. And he likes to fly drones into trees and rocks and water and pretty much anything else. And he's mostly drunk for pretty much every show. His name's Dan, the Droning Veteran. What are you drinking tonight, Dan?
Yeah, I forgot the flavor of the blinker fluid, but
The Jose Cuervo.
oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Just take it easy tonight.
You like to mess with me.
Yeah, just a little bit. And usually he's down by the river in a van, but tonight he is coming to you from the Red Roof Inn, and I'm scared. Let's just bring him up. Gary? G-Money.
G-Money back.
How you doing, G-Money?
Well, as you can tell, not too good. Hard times require hard hats, so that's usually an indication.
Well, it looks more like you're clowning around, but
I have a question. Can I ask
Yes.
a question right out of the gate?
you sure can.
Who the hell's this fellow named Karl Marx? I know more about Ann Marx than I know more about Karl Marx. What the hell's going on? He needs to renew his dues and be part of the club again. What the hell's going on around here?
Well, I did talk to him earlier, and I did think that he might join us tonight, but it didn't look like he made it back in time for the show tonight.
You're out of here, bro. You're out of here.
I'm getting some TV sound from somebody. Not sure who is.
I hear it too. It's not me.
Do you?
Everything's off here on my end.
Okay. Well, everything is. I'm not hearing it anymore. So, but we're going to introduce the new guy to the program. He's going to be with us for the next few weeks. I'd like everybody to give a nice, warm JJDrones welcome to our new junior producer for the next few weeks, Calvin. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Calvin?
There's not really much to say, in all honesty.
So you want to become a YouTube or a Twitch streamer or YouTube streamer?
Yeah.
And your dad is Chris from Shade Tree America, right?
Yeah.
And so you have decided that you wanted to come and join the show, and you're going to be working in the background, making sure that everything runs smoothly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I kind of go and say, hey, Calvin, click the next one, that's because he's still learning the system here. So, but thank you, Calvin, for joining the program. Is there any words of wisdom you'd like to give to any of the younger kids out there looking to do streaming?
Make sure you turn your cameras off at the end of the stream.
There you go. All right, so we're going to put Calvin backstage. What about that, guys?
That is awesome.
He's crushing it.
He is. He automatically, just with that last statement, is more qualified to run the show than I am.
I'll agree with that.
The show's been going quite smoothly lately.
Yes, it has. Yeah,
I bet
especially
he
this.
has a story. I bet he has a story time story for us about not clicking off. I bet he's got a story he doesn't want to tell us.
Oh, I have no doubt that he probably does have a story about that, Gary. But we do have our unofficial sponsor of this program, and they're always happy to be our sponsor. And Calvin, get ready for this.
Got the cocktail sauce and the Johnson juice mixed in. So what I'm going to do is just swallow drizzle, swallow swizzle, a little bit of that on there. Now we're going to talk about these tuna chunks, tuna kebab. Here's one small piece. Tuna kebabs with Johnson juice and cocktail sauce is not bad. It's really good. Talk about good improv. Thank you, Johnson Juice. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Great organization.
Nothing tastes better, all thanks to you.
Thank you, Johnson Juice.
Cuervo.
Yes, and we have coming up next our Blinker Fluid of the Week, Jose Cuervo edition. It is.
A shot of three, a shot of floor.
That's right, Blinker Fluid of the Week.
Life backing up takes them 5 tries. Wrong way down a one-way street. Did you get your license from a tweet? Home to flaring on the week. Still they drive on like a clown. Stop sign means just slow down. Congrats, you've earned our weekly crown. Oh, too.
It's Blinker Fluid of the Week.
Blinkers away.
And don't forget, folks, to in the chat put your winner.
1 through 5.
Hashtag 1 through hashtag 5, or tic-tac-toe, or
Pound it.
pound it. It's the most anticipated segment on YouTube, if you don't ask anybody else. Week number 5.
Can you believe that?
That's a goodie.
I definitely got to change this intro, though. It's a bit long.
So here's number 1.
Yeah, he definitely stopped at that.
He stopped for that. What's your problem, Dan?
You need to see me stop it.
Here's number 2. You really got to be careful with those little culverts. And number 3. Just another day at the shopping. Oh, you see its parking spot? Me too. I'm going to beat you to it, though.
No, you're not. Nobody will beat me to this parking spot. Nobody. Oh, except for the damn wrong way driver.
See, I told you I was going to beat you.
Oh, I thought that you swapped vehicles on me. I see how.
That's it. Here's number 4. Oh, You clearly were impeding his flow of traffic, Dan. And number 5.
Now I'm waiting for this car to go around the back of my trailer.
Well, why doesn't she just go?
Oh, look at this. See my mirror?
Oh.
That's why you always check your mirrors while you're backing.
Oh, so you don't blindfold yourself and keep going till you hear the boom.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Pro tip of the day.
So that is voting 1 through 5. We've already got 1 vote for number 3. And I will just let Gary know off the top that I am not going to persuade the viewing audience on which one to choose. I will keep my opinion to myself until the end of the show. So you're welcome. What's that, Dan?
Gary gonna sway the audience?
Well, I mean, Gary can, but he's not the host of the show. So. And we've got a vote for number 4 from Brian, and a vote for number 3 from Bonnie, and a vote from number 3 from Chris. So there you go. We're getting the votes, and make sure that you vote, and don't be like Chicago. Don't vote early and vote often. Just one time would be great.
One and done. That's what they
Yes. So I appreciate all of you that joined us here tonight. I know that the Super Bowl is going on tonight, and I will keep you updated on the score if you are interested. Right now, it's in a commercial break, and I don't think anybody really cares. But what I do care about is driving safely. And Gary, you are a safe driver. Oh, there you go. Eagles 24, Chiefs nothing from Ted. Thank you for coming in, Ted.
Wow.
And thank you for voting, Mrs. Shaytree. Appreciate you being in here, too. So what we have is an epidemic of very, very bad driving, especially in the wintertime. Gary, what are some helpful tips for people to drive safely in icy and snowy weather?
First of all, you have to maintain a very large gap between yourself and another vehicle. So, you have to understand the depth perception, and you're not on gravel. You're not on asphalt or concrete roads. You're going to slide for a very long time. So maintain your distance. Maintain a slow rate of speed. Those are a couple things, and try not to operate the vehicle intoxicated. That's a really good tip there, right there.
That would be a really good tip. Brian, do you have any tips?
Had one. It just kind of slipped on my. Gary just threw me off on the whole not being intoxicated part.
It slipped.
You Southerners don't understand us how us Northerners get through the winter.
Right.
Actually, though, it's probably my biggest tip is that 4-wheel drive only helps you with acceleration. It doesn't help with braking. So
that is a really good tip.
On that by any means.
That's a very good tip. I like that one. Yeah. I was always told that 4-wheel drive just means that when your car is spun over and you're up on your car is upside down, all 4 wheels will still spin. But Dan, what is a good tip from you?
Big tip. When it's raining, snowing, whatever. I mean, it doesn't even have to be snowing. Rain can be just as slick as snow. But don't cut in front of a truck, you know, because he has that distance between the car in front of him.
So, so over the past couple weeks, especially on the west side of the country, there's been a couple of significant snowstorms that have come through. And for a driver like me, I actually drive through the state of Wyoming quite regularly. And Dan, what is one of the biggest problems through Wyoming in the middle of the wintertime?
The winds.
And
ice and blowing snow and everything.
And you'd say that they close the highways quite often?
I say they're closed more than they're open in the winter.
Yes. And here is an example, and we're going to go through this only because I see this all the time while I'm driving through Wyoming. And this is from 2015, and I've kind of gone through this a little bit, and we're going to see some of the wonderful driving of the professional drivers up in Wyoming. Now, I say...
Are they like the professional filmmaker that doesn't know how to film correctly?
Thank you, Brian. That's exactly what I was going for. Can you hear the crashing? I mean...
Crunch. Here comes another crunch.
And if their camera was turned, you could actually see them hit each other.
Yes. So that one pickup truck with the trailer, and now we've got another pickup truck that has slowed down.
Slow down.
Here comes FedEx with doubles. And then a crash, and another truck, and then here comes Trans Am. Another crash, and another crash. Do you notice one thing with all these trucks that are going through? What is the common denominator between all of them? Anybody?
Too fast for conditions.
Yes, Gary.
I would say distance.
Distance and too fast for conditions. Both of them are correct. But here's the thing, and this is going to be an argument, and I would like the opinion from the guys on the panel. Hey, Drew, thank you so much for coming in. So one of the problems that I see as an issue with truck driving is that drivers are still paid by the mile. And that's the majority of the industry. There are a few exceptions where drivers are paid by the hour or by the day, but most of the drivers are paid by the hour. So, I mean, paid by the mile. So if everybody was switched to a paid by the hour or paid by the day, I feel that more drivers would take their time and not rush things so much, so that they do put themselves into a situation like this. Opinions from the panel.
I personally feel that if your vehicle's disabled due to an accident, you're not going to log up those miles. That's my opinion.
Absolutely, but the people that are doing this are taking their chance because they feel like they need to, or they're forced to by their company. And let me just say, if you're forced by your company to drive unsafely, report your company to the FMCSA. There's whistleblower protections for anybody that does that. But Brian or Dan?
I'll definitely drive. I'm not a big fan of the per mile pay, because you want to make that money, so you're gonna drive those miles.
And that's...
It doesn't matter what the conditions of the roads are. You slow down to, you're driving 65 miles an hour, and conditions require you to go about 20, 25, depending on it, but you're still going to push it 45, 50 miles an hour down those roads just to make those make up for that time because you're making less money for same time.
Absolutely, Brian.
I was just going to say, if conditions are that bad, just park it. You know, it's not worth the risk to yourself or anyone else on the road.
That's where that, like I said, the salary, the pay by the hour, or the daily pay rate would come into play. Because if right now these drivers that are driving here, let's play a little bit more. These drivers are paid by the mile, and they're thinking that it's worth the chance to drive through this stuff.
Well, that's gonna hurt.
Look how fast that guy's going. And that guy. Somebody's not going to get their cars delivered to their dealership.
The wheels aren't spinning.
Well, R&L at least was able to stop short, but I'm sure he's going to get rear-ended here shortly.
There's a lot of trucks that are starting to slow down here. Now, the state of Wyoming actually did try and help matters up there by putting up specific speed limit signs to where they can actually change the speed limit. But I can tell you right now, as of driving through Wyoming this week, where I was doing 30 to 35, sometimes 25 miles an hour, depending on where I was at, there were trucks that were doing well over 60, 65 miles an hour when the speed limit signs were flashing saying 45 miles an hour. And they weren't doing anything about it. So that's a problem. Yes, Gary.
I have a question. So let's say an operator gets in an accident like this, operator like yourself, and let's say by chance he gets lucky and does not get issued a citation, but do they get dinged for not getting their load there on time, or is it like a demerit, or how does that work?
No, if you communicate with your dispatcher, and that's what I'm saying, if your company tries to force you to drive in conditions where you don't feel it's safe, you really need to get in contact with the FMCSA, or the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and let them know you're being forced to drive in unsafe conditions. Because any company like Breakbush, if you run into a situation like that, they want you to stop, pull over, and park it. And as one company said to me before, they'd rather you park and deliver a day later rather than them try to dig your freight out of the ditch somewhere and try and put it onto a truck and hope it still is intact. So that's one thing that you definitely have to be aware of when you're driving in winter weather. We're going to bring in Anonymous. That's kind of scary.
Anonymous.
So here's my question, Jason.
Yes, Brian.
So, I understand your statement of instead of paying by the mile, going by the hour. I've got a friend of mine that drives that is actually that very thing. He's by the hour when he's local, and if he does have to go over the road, he's by the mile. But if you're not driving, if you've parked it because of weather, you're still not making any income. So wouldn't that same incentive of keep driving still apply?
Now,
or do companies have like a per diem for being overnight, or would you use those 24 hours as your reset? I can see a couple of different ways of handling this. On the railroad, we're always paid by the day, but I just was wondering how would switching to a per hour basis be any better off for the drivers who feel that they have to make the money?
Okay, let's hear what Anonymous has to say.
All right, here's how this works. Let me back up just a hair about the weather thing. Wyoming, you could be driving, it's gonna be all nice and pretty, and you're cruising along. It's just cold outside, no big deal. And you're cruising down the freeway. And, you know, people who use CBs used to use them and find out weather issues and stuff like that ahead of you. And so I was driving down that good old 80 in Wyoming. Guys were saying, oh, the weather's fine. Well, the weather was coming up, I think, from the north, coming down and slowly hitting the freeway. Next thing you know, you're driving right into that. So just so you know, like, that's how that happens sometimes, is you just end up driving into it and you're like, whoa, yeah, you should slow down. Obviously, those guys should have slowed way down because you could tell that was really thick. But anyway, so as to the hours, I mean, I don't know what the calculation would be for going hourly versus, well, actually, if you figured the calculation out, what is it? What is 55 or what is like 32 cents a mile times 55 miles an hour, Jason? What's that like? What is it, like $12 an hour or some stupid number like that?
Yeah, it's something stupid like that. But
Yeah.
you don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
Most companies have something that says if you shut down due to weather, we're going to pay you a certain amount of money, whether that be like let's just say
$25, $50. Yeah, usually.
Well,
it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, that's nothing. But if you get paid a daily rate, you would get paid that same daily rate whether you had to shut down for weather or whether you just continued to drive. So that driver that gets paid that daily rate, they're going to park anyway. Now, if you have a situation where you're paid an hourly rate, I would say to the trucking company that wants to do that, if there's an event to where the driver has to shut down because of adverse driving conditions, I would say that we're going to allow you a certain amount of hours. Let's just say you drove 3 hours and the adverse weather conditions had you shut down for the rest of the day because of the weather. We're going to pay you your hourly rate all the way through the end of your shift, and then that's it. And then if you still had adverse weather driving conditions the next day, you still have that availability. It's not going to be something that you would do in perpetuity, but I think that's something that you could do as a driver or as a company for a driver in order to stay safe. I honestly think that if a company is more focused on safety than they are pushing these trucks down the road, I think that this is something that most companies should look into.
You know, I just looked up 40 cents a mile times 500 miles. It's $200 a day.
Okay,
So,
but nobody's paying
like-
40 cents a mile now. The industry average is like 65.
Whoa, damn. I'm in the wrong business now. Shoot.
So, well, I mean, and anonymous, just so you know, we have the same thing over here with the with lake effect. You know, you'll be driving along the Indiana there, and everything's fine. You get over by Michigan City, and it's a complete whiteout because the wind's off the lake and just dumping snow. And you get over by South Bend, and suddenly it's fine again. So,
Yep.
But here's the difference between Indiana, Illinois, and Wyoming. In Wyoming, they've got road signs that say exactly what the weather conditions are for the entire state. So if you have really bad driving conditions from, let's say, Rawlins to Laramie, it'll actually say on the road sign that the roads are icy and snow covered. And they've even gotten to the point now where they have the wind speeds, and they will say that roads are shut down to any vehicle less than 40,000 pounds or less than 50,000 pounds or 60,000 pounds, whatever, depending on what the wind speeds are. So Wyoming has it figured out so that you can be rest assured that if you don't feel safe driving in those conditions, you don't drive in those conditions, and you find yourself a spot to park. And the only reason that they do that is because it's illegal to park on their roadways if the roads are shut down. And there's not enough places for trucks to park if they do shut down the road. So if you run into that situation and you feel like you should park sooner, you should probably park sooner. Now,
Assuming you can get to a spot.
you can always get to a spot. I mean, I was, like I said, I was doing 25 miles an hour, and I made it to Rawlins. And not long after I parked in Rawlins, they actually shut down the highway going east on I-80. Again, it's all about your skill, your skill set, and if you're not going to drive like a moron. I mean, you're supposed to be a professional driver. You're supposed to be trained to drive in all weather conditions. And some of these guys are from different countries, and I don't oppose people from different countries driving here, but you shouldn't be driving 75 miles an hour. In fact, I think that if the FMCSA and the DOT was smart, they would give a winter driving conditions endorsement on your CDL. And if you can't drive, or if you don't have that that endorsement on your CDL, you can't drive in winter weather conditions, period.
I'm curious. I seen Gary put his hands up. He's down there in Florida, down there where it's all warm and toasty. What has he got to say about winter weather?
Gary's had more snow than I have.
Gary's had more snow than Utah and Michigan this year.
We got a little bit of snow, and ironically, this is no hidden. This is true fact. Milton, Florida, got the most snow in the history of the state of Florida. They were at like 9.78 inches or something like that, and that set an all-time record. I think they beat it by like 3 inches of snow. Unfortunately, I was here where I am right now, stranded in Pensacola. But so I do have a question for the anonymous member of the panel. Is it okay to ask?
Yes, go for it.
So the host, you did say most companies are paying what, like 65 cents a mile or something?
That's what I said, yes.
Okay. So let's say somebody was in, like, by chance, like the mini donut business. How many mini donuts would you have to sell, during a day to have the equivalency of what a truck driver could achieve?
How many? You have to sell like
Profit. I'm
5
talking
pounds.
profit. I'm
You
talking
have to
profit.
sell like 5 pounds a day of donut
5
mix.
pounds.
That's
Well,
the easiest way to say it.
Well, when you talk pounds, I get scared. Were you talking like donut pounds or other types of pounds?
There's more than one type of pound.
Yeah.
No, not talking kilos, pounds.
Oh,
No, I don't know. I'd have to figure out what that translates into, but approximately 5 pounds, I'd make, profit wise, technically, I'd make more than $300-$500
Okay, so when does the clock run out on? Let's say hypothetically somebody was in the mini donut business, and that shouldn't be because they've been warned. But let's say, when does the donut business stop? 10 a.m., 11 a.m., or what? Give us some insight.
See, where I used to come from, is that a word? Used to. So where I used to come from, we can get donuts 24 hours a day, baby. For some reason here in this big old state here now, I don't know. Everybody shuts down at 12, which is weird. Why can't you get donut after 12? It's retarded. Oh wait, we're not supposed to say that word. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, for some reason. So I've decided that I'm going to be the guy that's opened after 12.
Well,
So right now I'm open nighttime, Saturday morning, giving people those donuts, getting people fat.
Allegedly.
Oh,
Allegedly.
so you happen to be in the donut business? That's weird. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't,
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Just like you're in the hotel business, right?
no, I'm in the bronut business.
I was going to
business?
say 1 British pound sterling is $1.24.
Oh, there you go.
I wish
That-
it was that
that-
way.
That just cleared everything up like mud. But Paul did say something earlier about being the R word, which means really, really stupid. So let's talk about something stupid. Calvin, let's do the DJI drone ban update.
Sky's the limit, but they want
We're watching
it
Cal.
low. grounding their dreams in a world they don't know. Innovations crushed under the weight of fear and control. Is it too late? Clowns and drones, they're on the run, spewing those lies till the day is done. Clowns and drones up in the air, flying so high they ain't never there.
All right, so I'm going to bring this up here. All right, so here is what I wanted to show everybody, because we had more states coming up with new laws, and this was shared by Pilot Institute. And this guy is really good about keeping on top of all the new laws and stuff. So here's go ahead and stop me when you see one that makes, well, stop me when you see one that doesn't make sense. How about that?
For these bills is that in Connecticut, SB 0003, that's 3 zeros and then a 3, is not yet public, but is expected to be similar to the bill that was defeated last year regarding drone restrictions. In Kansas, proposed legislation for a drone ban is based on country of concerns.
All right, so the first one is basically a repeat from something that wasn't passed last year. So if first you don't succeed, try again. Is that what we're going for?
That's what our federal government does. So yeah.
Yeah, well, this is state governments now. Kansas is doing a legislation on countries of concern. Why does it say countries? Because I'm pretty sure there's only one country of concern that they're worried about.
Probably, but at least by covering countries, if let's say Vietnam starts producing them because we don't want to get them from China anymore, and knowing that they are communist in nature, they may be added to that list. So I can actually see it wording that way. It covers the law going forward. So that one makes sense in the way that it's worded.
So if Anonymous decided that he was going to get out of the allegedly donut business and get into the drone business, he would be underneath that umbrella, I'm assuming.
Oh, he's already under it.
In Massachusetts, we have HD 79 that would impose restrictions on procuring and using drones based on country of.
Are we getting a kind of a feel of where these are going?
Origin.
Oh, yeah.
In Missouri, HB 210 is identical to a bill that was defeated last session and would impose restrictions on drone use in the state. Two additional bills with identical text also aim to impose restrictions on the purchase and the use.
So this is all DJI drone ban bills. That's what all these are. This is all DJI, Autel. Do you think they will actually acknowledge that Parrot Anafi is actually made in China?
Who?
No.
This sounds racist.
It's going to be, hey, it was designed in the United States, so therefore it's fine.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
Nothing to do with assembly.
No, and Paul, this isn't racist. This is I'm just pointing out that we don't want stuff from
Restricted based on country.
Yes.
Sounds racist.
Of drones based on country of origin. And then in New Jersey, two bills are
Can't be because New Jersey and Massachusetts both agree with it. New Jersey wants to prevent public safety use of DJI. How smart is that, Brian?
It's not. At least that one's in the assembly bill that mentioning, which is what their A is for, is specifically to one manufacturer. At least their Senate bill there is a little bit more generalized, but it's not. I mean, no one can touch. Unfortunately, no one can touch DJI right now for the quality of the products that they're making.
No.
It's just, and that's the catch. it's a quality. If someone made, you know, something equivalent to in a similar price point, there'd be no problem. But when you start restricting things, especially, I hate to say, like DJIs and their enterprise class drones with the infrared cameras, that will cost lives.
It will. It will.
All it takes is one elderly person escaping from a nursing home to you know, die of the elements, and you know, whoever created this law is going to have egg on their face, but they don't want to think that far.
You know what we need? We need a dog. We need to pet the dog.
Pet the dog.
Oh, hang on. Anonymous wants to pet the dog.
Come on. You're getting petted by Anonymous. You feel it?
Gotta pet the dog.
We have a mascot. Do that again, Anonymous. There you go.
Oh, there.
There you go.
Pet the dog.
So New Jersey wants to endanger the lives of its citizens, is basically what they want to do with that Assembly 2560.
Of threats A2570 and S3483. A2570 would prevent public safety use of DJI drones. S3483 is a public safety drone ban that would lead to additional restrictions. In Nebraska, LB 660.
Okay, so Nebraska, this is probably the one thing that we can say is everybody on both and the left and the right are absolute morons. And thanks for coming in, Stormy Sky, because we were just talking about New Jersey, which is pretty much a left-leaning state. And now we're in Nebraska, which is a right-leaning state. And they want to restrict new drones unless they are on the list of secure drones authorized for purchase. And who makes up that list?
Well, it's whoever decides to make those. Although, to be honest with you, at least this is worded in a way that, say, you know, a agency decides to say, hey, my DJI drone, you know, my Matrice is actually secure. If they have a testing procedure to make it authorized for use, you could put it technically on that list and be used. So instead of just being a how do I word this, a negative list where everything on it is listed as a negative, this is a positive list. So, and by having it worded this way, I would think that the framework on it would be that every drone that is on the list would have to go through a testing procedure to make sure that they are authorized. So you're starting with a blank slate and adding things to it as they get approved. So out of all of them so far, I like this one the best.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Brian. The only problem that I have is that the list of secure drones that are authorized for purchase are all going to be the $15,000 to $30,000 drones that are not as good and not as reliable as DJI. That's just my thoughts. We'll have to see what happens going forward with Nebraska. But again, this is where you have to get on the phone with your legislators in your state and let them know that you want DJI on a list like this. You want DJI on the list of secure drones authorized for purchase. And you let them know, hey, DJI is the best drone out there, and it's the safest drone out there, and it's already been proven time and time again that these drones are not a threat to national security. So definitely go to droneadvocacyalliance.com and use their links to your state rep. Let's see what other states we have on this list.
Seeks to impose restrictions on certain drones unless they are a newly created list called the List of Secure Drones Authorized for Purchase. The list is based on cybersecurity standards that have not been developed, although kind of like that idea a lot better than all the other ones.
So you are actually on the same side as this guy, Brian.
Well, North Dakota, HB 1038 would add funding to a UAS test site and set up a grant program to remove certain drones from state use and then
I like this one. HB 1038 in North Dakota adds funding to a UAS test site, so it's going to be a place to test out drones, and it sets up a grant program to remove and replace certain drones. So they'll bring those drones out there to their testing facility, and they'll see what drones are good and which ones are not, and whichever ones are good they'll keep, and whichever ones are not good they'll get rid of. Brian, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's actually what the Nebraska bill would do as well.
Okay.
Is that you would have to develop a testing program to be added to the list.
Right, and he did say that the testing for Nebraska hasn't been set up yet, so we'll have to see what that testing comes up to look like.
Replace them with more expensive alternatives. In Oklahoma, SB 488 would also prevent drone purchases unless they are on an approved list. This is very similar to the bill that was defeated previously. In Virginia, HB 2038 would mandate a list of approved drones for public safety agencies based on unspecified cybersecurity risk assessments.
So Virginia is basically doing the same as Nebraska. Virginia kind of leans a little bit more left than Nebraska does, and then what was the one before that? Oklahoma, and Oklahoma kind of. I don't think that that bill will pass, but you just never know. So definitely keep an eye on Oklahoma as well.
This could go into effect as soon as July 1st of this year. And then in Washington, SB 5302 would prevent the acquisition and the use of drones based on where they are manufactured. And yes.
So Washington is going to jump on the bandwagon and say, if you have a drone that is made in China, you're not going to be able to use it. Or Russia or Iran, or they come up with all these different countries. But we all know what they're trying to do is basically ban all drones that are coming from China. So, any thoughts from anybody else on that?
Well, most of the American made drones come from China, just in pieces.
Exactly.
Oh, my bad.
Don't tell them.
I'm sorry, Anonymous. He probably just ruined your market there. So I'll give you Dan's address so that you can go visit him and let him know what you think about him letting the cat out of the bag.
It's in Quinnipiac, Michigan.
I don't go up there. It's too cold. I don't go up to Canada. I think
right.
Canada, right?
No. Well, we are getting to the
right here.
Oh no, the cat's right there. Brian's got it. Ooh. So we're good.
Ooh,
we're
show
good.
the dog and the cat. See what happens. Get some action here, man. Let's get the party going.
He's eating the dogs. He's eating the cats.
Ooh. Meow.
Hang on. I was going to see who the winner of this week is, but before I do that, I've got to do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotta do what? Gotta do it.
Hang on.
Gary's looking a little hot down there. Usually it's either hot or too cold. Look too comfortable.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the
cat. Gary, what's your opinion?
My opinion is that just look at this. This is always hot, man. Come on.
There we go.
Got that big money. Staying in
we
the
got
hotels.
G money in the hotel, and if any ladies are interested, you can call him at 1-800-GARY.
Well, I have Trixie with me. Don't be saying that because you're going to.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Trixie's here.
Yeah, and we got the dog.
Call in 35 minutes.
Yep. Right. Exactly.
So, Dan, do we have a winner for Blinker Fluid of the Week?
Oh, we do.
So the winner of this week's Jose Cuervo Blinker Fluid of the Week is
Number 3.
number 3. Congratulations, number 3, on your winning of this week's Blinker Fluid of the Week. Make sure that you tune in next week for Blinker Fluid of the Week, and next week is going to be an even more exciting episode.
Yes.
Jose has an objection.
Oh, he does.
Yes, if you're gonna, since the sponsor is Jose Cuervo, it would be tres, not 3.
Oh, I'm
tres.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Numero tres.
Numero 3.
Numero tres, Mr. Cuervo. Numero tres. Thank you very much.
Much better. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Calvin.
The only way I know how to count Spanish is the beginning of Wooly Bully. Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, cuatro.
Or
Oh.
¿Qué pasa?
Taco, burrito, fajita. That's
Anonymous is our linguistics expert.
Can
From,
I ask you a question? Is he going to be on the after show? Because I really want to make a comment, but I don't know if I can make it live. So if he's
Well, that'll be up to him.
You can say whatever you want.
I know, but I'm not. I try and filter my comments, unlike some people I know.
He does, and
I only had one rule coming on here, so I haven't broken that rule. So I guess there's no other rules because he only gave me one rule. So you're
did.
safe as far as I know, according to
Yes.
the rule that I was given. But I'm special like that. I have rules for some reason. I don't know why. I don't do anything wrong.
everybody has rules.
I don't come in at the wrong time, not knowing what's going on around here.
So everybody's got rules that come onto the show, except for me because I'm the host, and even I have rules because YouTube tells me what I can and can't do. But if you're still watching and you're interested in what the score is of the Super Bowl, the refs have decided that Philadelphia should be in the lead right now, so it's 24-0, Philadelphia.
Ooh, that doesn't sound promising.
No, it doesn't.
What happened
It's in
to
the third
Niners?
quarter.
Oh, sorry,
Oh.
Dallas Cowboys.
They're gonna have a comeback of the ages.
I don't think you want to bring up Cowboys.
I forgot. I have to beat Cowboys now. I can't beat
Right.
49ers anymore.
Right.
Sorry,
So,
luck anyway.
So we're reaching the end of our show for the day, and we're gonna bring back Calvin back to the stage. Oops. There we go.
Are you saying that Calvin was a punchline to something there, Jason?
I'm sorry?
Was Calvin the punchline to something there? Is it for the rim shot?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes. So Calvin, how was your first show?
Put him on the big screen. Put him on the big screen, please.
All right, let's put him on the big screen. There you go.
It could have been better.
Oh
yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. You could have had a better host.
You will always be your own worst critic.
I will. But thank you, Calvin, very much. You know, things are going to get easier as time goes on. So thank you very much to our new junior producer. And you're going to learn more as time goes on. And then by the time that you learn everything, you're going to have to forget everything because you're going to run your show your way. So that's just how that goes. But it is coming to the end of the program, and we're going to give everybody a chance to say their final thoughts for the show, starting with Anonymous.
Final thoughts.
You said say final thoughts.
Yes, I did.
That was
Gary.
Okay, I'm going to thank Calvin for participating and doing an excellent job. I mean, I still think there's a little area of improvement. Hopefully next week you can tell us what Spider 2 Wide Banana is, and then a couple other things. I want to know where the host of the show lives. I want to know who he works for. And I think that sums it up.
Okay.
Thank you, Gary. Dan.
Just be safe, have fun, go fly some drones, because I haven't been able to because of stupid weather, and I've been sad. And the honeydew list is, I'm chipping away at that, so hopefully I get those done, and then I can fly. So,
Beautiful. Brian.
safe.
I was going to say, Kelvin, I think you did a great job. You obviously said that you have some room for improvement, so you're going to take those lessons that you feel that you need to apply to next week's show, and I can't wait to work with you again.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian. Calvin, would you like to add anything?
He's a
I don't know what to
producer
add.
for a reason.
That's true.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I want to thank Calvin for coming on. I think that he did a great job for his first day on the job. So thank you very much. We do appreciate having you here, and hopefully maybe one of your teachers or instructors can watch the replay of the live. They can see how well of a job you did for your first day. But it's not an easy job, as you can see. It's something that I do during the show myself. So having a producer to take that off of my back really helps me focus on the show more than focusing on all the exterior things that go along with the show. Yes, Gary.
Does Calvin have any type of social media he would like to share with us tonight? Like, does he aspire, should I say, to have a YouTube channel, or you said something about Twitch? Does his time to shine right now?
I don't have any social media right now, in all honesty.
Okay. All
Not
right.
yet.
Well,
But he will, and when he becomes rich and famous, because he's this huge Twitch star, he can remember, being here with the four of us, and 5 of us.
Hey, Calvin, you heard of Gary V?
What?
Gary V.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Look him up. You'll understand.
Yeah.
Look up Gary and VEE. Just look him up. You'll understand.
I have his book.
Oh, do you?
I have one of his books. Yes. He lives in New York City. He's very, very opinionated, very intelligent. He's very direct, but he's very intelligent.
And give a last score update. It's still 24-0 Philadelphia. But I appreciate all of you that have been here tonight. I know that the Super Bowl was on. I hope that all of you that have been here had a good experience, because I really know that the Super Bowl wasn't anything worth watching. And this show was actually more worth watching than the Super Bowl, if that tells anybody anything.
Did you guys play the anthem at the beginning of the show?
I did not.
Real one?
No.
Okay, just checking.
But Calvin, are you ready to end the show? I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with us, and we'll see you later on down the road. Bye, guys.